So a couple weeks ago I posted a poll asking what video appealed to you the most, and the winner was this one: every ship in the Inquisitors motor pool. Well, with the impending appearance of another Inquisitor in the upcoming Ahsoka series, I thought it was as good a time as any to make it. The Order of Inquisitors had a wide variety of vehicles at their disposal. I was interested to know what all of the vehicles used by the Inquisitors were, but I wasn't able to find a comprehensive list, so I decided to compile one myself. I'm Joey from Radio Free Coruscant, and this is every ship in the Inquisitors motor pool. A motor pool is a group of motor vehicles whose use is shared on a short-term basis by the personnel of an organization such as a government agency or military installation. The term can also refer to the place where such vehicles are parked when not in use, and to the staff that manages the vehicles and/or maintains them such that they are operable and ready for use when requested. Fortress Inquisitorious ships. The Fortress Inquisitorious was a menacing black tower on the watery moon of Nur from which the Inquisitors conducted their operations. This fortress had a hangar wrapping around it that could house ships of many different types. The following are the ships that can be seen there in Kenobi. As far as I can tell, we cannot see any ships in the hangar in Jedi Fallen Order when Cal Kestis goes there. There are a great number of Star Destroyers in orbit in the game, but we don't know if they actually belong to the Inquisitorious or if they are simply on a temporary mission there. Because they are not present in Kenobi, I will assume the latter. TIE Fighters. Fortress Inquisitorious housed at least one squadron of 20 TIE Fighters. These were suspended from the ceiling of the hangar and could be launched for air and space defense if necessary. Imperial Transport. The Inquisitors also had access to about 10 Imperial assault landers. These 14-meter-long landing craft were used to deploy the stormtroopers and purge troopers of the Inquisitorious across the galaxy. I have a full video about the Imperial Transport from a couple weeks ago if you'd like to learn more. Lambda Shuttle. Fortress Inquisitorious stocked at least one Lambda Shuttle at all times. We see that they have many smaller shuttles and a special Inquisitor transport, which we'll discuss in a bit, so this single Lambda must be for the station commander. After all, the type of people who are made into Inquisitors aren't the type to have the patience to do the paperwork required to run a facility of this size, so it must have had someone in charge of the regular Imperial personnel there. And this person would have access to this shuttle. I also have a video about the Lambda if you'd like to know more about that. Both of these videos will be linked in the description. Imperial Light Shuttle. The lower-ranking officers at Fortress Inquisitorious had access to several light shuttles to take them off-world. We don't actually know anything about this ship yet, not even a name. It doesn't even have a databank or Wikipedia page yet. Hopefully that will be remedied in the upcoming Kenobi and Bad Batch reference book, but in the meantime we can speculate a little. We know that the Imperial Transport is 14 meters long, and can confirm that that is correct in this shot by comparing it to the length of the 20-meter Lambda. Using that information, we can estimate that the light shuttle is roughly 8 or 9 meters long, with a 3-meter wide hull and a total wingspan of 10 meters, about the size of a Class F shuttle from Star Trek. With that comparison in mind, we can guess that it can carry about 6 passengers and 1 pilot, like the Class F, and was used for light personnel and administrative duties. At least 5 of these were stocked at the Fortress Inquisitorious and 1 on the Imperial base on Mapuzo. Unlike its big brother, the Lambda, this shuttle could have potentially even been sold to civilians as a personal transport one step above an airspeeder. I would certainly buy one. Look at it, it's so cute. I really hope this little ship gets the attention it deserves soon. Scythe. The primary mode of transportation for the Inquisitors for a while was a ship called the Scythe. For now, we don't know much about it besides the name, but we can see that it's around 25 meters long and 10 meters wide in landing mode, or 19 meters wide in flight mode based on its size compared to the other ships in the fortress. It was the only one of this model of ship used by the Inquisitorious as far as we know, and perhaps even the only one, period. It was lightly armed with 2 wingtip laser cannons. We don't know its crew requirements or passenger complement, but due to its secretive usage, it was probably only piloted by one of the Inquisitors it carried. Its body was roughly the same size as the body of the Delta-class T-3C shuttle minus the wings and prongs, so it could likely carry 20 to 30 passengers like the Delta could. It almost certainly carried similar stealth systems as well. Other ships. Those were all the ships that are stationed at the fortress permanently. However, there are also several Inquisitorious ships that are not seen there. They are also likely kept at the fortress, but we don't see that on screen to know for sure. And there may also be other Inquisitorious facilities, such as their original base on Coruscant, that these ships are deployed from. TIE Advanced V1. The TIE Advanced V1 was the primary mode of transportation for the Grand Inquisitor, 5th brother, 7th sister, and 8th brother. It seems impractical to use a starfighter for Inquisitorious missions instead of the Scythe, especially when one of their missions is to kidnap Force-sensitive infants to create more Inquisitors, but I guess that's why the Inquisitorious was dissolved shortly before the Battle of Yavin. Aside from the Grand Inquisitor, they weren't the brightest bulbs in the bunch. This ship was the prototype that would eventually be developed into Darth Vader's TIE Advanced X1. TIE Reaper. The TIE Reaper attack lander was a 24-meter-long dropship. It could carry 10 passengers. Typically, it was used by Imperial Special Forces such as the Death Troopers, but the Inquisitorious used them to deploy Purge Troopers as well. TIE Interceptor. The second sister is depicted using a TIE Interceptor in Jedi Fallen Order. However, Wikipedia states that the Interceptor was not created until 1 BBY, nearly 13 years after Fallen Order takes place. Perhaps the second sister had an extremely early prototype, or more likely, this is merely a case of the developers reusing existing assets rather than creating a game-ready photoreal model of the TIE Advanced V1. As far as I know, it only appears in one scene, so I don't exactly blame them. LAAT-LE. The Inquisitors used the LAAT-LE to deploy themselves and their Purge Troopers into the field.
I found the Jedi!
The Grand Inquisitor was also fond of using one while he hunted for the Jedi in the Spectre Cell on Lothal. It is likely that the LAAT-LEs used by the Inquisitors were simply borrowed from local Imperial garrisons rather than owned by the Inquisitorious like the other ships. This was the case for the Grand Inquisitor's LE, so it probably was for the others as well. For more information on this ship, check out my video on the LAAT line. Sentinel Shuttle. The Sentinel-class landing craft was a derivative of the Lambda Shuttle. It was commonly used to deliver large numbers of troops to the planet's surfaces. This likely replaced the fleet of Imperial assault landers in the Inquisitor's motor pool, as it was a more capable craft all around. The Inquisitors occasionally used these to travel solo as well. The Inquisitors probably had the widest range of ships of any Imperial organization besides the Imperial Starfighter Corps and the Imperial Navy. We will have to wait and see if any new Inquisitor ships accompany the new Inquisitor Marok in Ahsoka. I am recording this the day before the first 2 episodes come out, so if there is one in those episodes, it will look a little silly on my part. The Empire no longer exists, and Marok is working for Morgan Elsbeth though, so I don't think any ship flown by him will count. If you like this video, please subscribe and share it with a friend. I'll see you next time. RFC out.